It is 1 o'clock. I haven't really ate all day. Like, I had half of a breakfast burrito and then I had like a little turkey stick. So I was like, you know what, let me come to this farmer's market. They make like really good food. Let me get some things. It's closed. So now I'm just sitting in the parking lot like, I need to eat, I need to go to the gym, and yet all I can think about is what I'm about to talk about. So I just drove like 20 minutes to this market. And while I was driving, I was listening to music, and music just, creates kind of like a nostalgia. And there were a couple of songs that were playing that reminded me of my early 20s, and I'm still in my early 20s, by the way. I'm 25, but still, regardless. And I was just thinking back to that person, because I feel like I've been going through some things, and I'm trying not to let it completely affect me. And I'm kind of realizing that I wouldn't be going through these things if I would have just known what I knew now at like 20 years old. So I thought I would share lessons that I wish I knew at 20 years old. So first things first, I'm losing my voice and it is extremely windy outside, so you may hear some wind. The first lesson that I wish I knew at 20 years old is that it's better to be alone than in bad company. Yeah. At 20 years old, I definitely hung around people who I knew weren't true friends and who didn't really have my back. But I think I did that because I didn't want to be alone. And I didn't want to cut off friendships and connections that I had when I was younger. Because a lot of the friendships that I do have are people that I've known since elementary school. So I think that I didn't necessarily want to let that go because I'm like, well, we have so much history and, they've known me since I was a child. But at the end of the day, none of that matters. Like, if all of that isn't a factor for them, why should it be for you? Why should you have to betray yourself because these people in your life don't see your worth? So that's the first thing that I would tell my 20-year-old self. The second thing I would tell my 20-year-old self is to prioritize yourself. Never ever put someone and their needs and their wants before you. You are number one. You should be taking care of yourself all the time. You should be putting yourself first, doing the things that you want to do. In all reality, you are born alone. You're going to die alone. Like, when I'm on my deathbed, I don't want to think about all the things that I wish I would have done. I want to just be like, yeah, like, I'm happy with my life. Like, I lived it to the fullest, and I am proud of the choices that I made, and I did what I wanted to do. I don't want to think about all the things that I should have done. And so that means thinking about yourself first before everyone. Everyone. It doesn't matter. Your husband, even your kids, to an extent. Your kids won't have a good mom if you put them before you. Because in all reality, that does breed a little bit of resentment, even though aren't like, oh, I hate my kid or I resent them, but it's like, oh, like, I have to take care of you and I have to do this, but I really need to shower, I really need to brush my teeth. So yeah, put yourself first all the time. There's no excuses. I don't care how much you like this guy. And yes, I'm talking to my 20-year-old self. I don't care how much you like this guy. I don't care what he promises you. You put yourself first. He is not important. He's not as important as you. Number 3 is that looks are everything. We live in a very shallow world where looks are everything. People date based on looks, whether we want to believe it or not. No one dates for personality besides women, okay? No man is like, oh, I want to date her because I love her personality. A man is like, oh, I want to date her because she looks beautiful, and the reason he'll want to stay is because of looks and your personality. But we live in a very shallow world. People choose people to date, people choose people for jobs, for, you know, opportunities because of the way you look. Really take control over how you look. And let's be real, like when we look good, we feel good. I look good right now, so I feel amazing. I went to work yesterday with completely no makeup on, and I didn't even moisturize, and I felt like crap, and I felt like I wasn't doing my best because I wasn't feeling good internally and externally. Not thinking you're beautiful every single day, there's a problem. I wake up every day and I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm beautiful, I look pretty, and you need to work on that. You know, work on a hair, skin, makeup routine, change some things. This wind is moving my car, by the way. I am like, you may see me like this. It's because of the wind, I promise. Work on your looks if you can. Go to the gym. Like, do what you have to do. Something else, another thing that I would tell my 20-year-old self is to get rid of your smartphone. Smartphones are designed to be addictive, and that is exactly what they are, addictive. You waste so much time being on your phone. You waste so much life being on your phone. I think during my early 20s, like, I was on my phone most of my time. I wasn't going out, I wasn't doing things, I was sitting on my phone. And that hurts me to think about because I had so much time. I was so young, so pretty. Like, I should have been out doing things. I should have been out dancing. I should have been out singing karaoke. I should have been out modeling. Like, I should have been doing all of these things, and I wasn't because I was stuck on my phone. So if I had to tell myself or any 20-year-old, I would say ditch the phone. And if you can't necessarily ditch the phone, get rid of the social media apps. Get rid of Instagram, get rid of TikTok, whatever. I don't keep those apps on my phone. I'll like occasionally download Instagram or TikTok, but I don't keep it on there for longer than a day. Like, I have set boundaries with it. And now I feel like every day I'm out living life. And that's what you should be doing. You know, it's not good to spend every day on your phone, like, living vicariously through other people's lives and what they're doing. It's weird, and it's not right, and that's not the way that life should be lived. And another thing I would tell my 20-year-old self is to romanticize your life. You're young, you're beautiful, you have all of these opportunities. You should be getting up every day, taking a walk, thinking about how beautiful the flowers and nature and everything is, listening to beautiful music, going out and flaunting your beautiful self. Like, every day, something that I'm learning is that every day that you're on this planet, you are lucky. Unfortunately, not everyone gets that same luck. Things happen, people get terminally ill, people get hit by buses, people die in a plane crash. Like, things happen, and I don't think we realize sometimes how close we are to death until something crazy happens and it humbles us and brings us back to reality. Every day that you are alive, you are the main character. Every day that you are alive is another chance, so you should be romanticizing every single day. Another thing that I would tell my 20-year-old self is to heal. Please heal. My 20-year-old self was definitely an avoidant, and I'm not saying that I'm 100% not an avoidant now. Like, I'm better than I was at that age, because at that age I avoided everything. I avoided things that hurt me, avoided things that upset me. I think at that age I was very scared of being abandoned. I was very scared of people walking away from me, because that's something that I have experienced very early on in life, where people walking away or people threatening to leave and then actually, you know, being left at some points. Something that I would tell her if I were to sit next to her right now is that stop catastrophizing everything. You don't have to be scared anymore. The bad thing already happened. Like, you have already been abandoned. Your parents already left. Like, you can't control that, and that happened to you. You can thank your younger self for doing what they needed to do to survive and to continue on. So that may have been avoiding at that age. But you don't have to do that anymore. The bad thing already happened, but now you have control. You have control over your life. So I would just tell her that you don't need to be afraid anymore. You're older. What you need to do is tap into your younger self and help her feel safe and help her heal. Something that I would also tell her is to think about what you're into and focus on that. I think that I'm a very late bloomer with everything. Like, I am 25 and I'm just finally feeling like I know who I am. Whereas I feel like some of my friends have known who they are since forever. Like, they've always known their aesthetic, their niche. They've always known what they like, what they didn't. And I think that I couldn't figure out what I liked. And I think that was because I also wasn't 100% focusing on myself and putting that energy and effort into me. I think I gave up a lot too as a 20-year-old. Gave up a lot too. Like, things would just be so overwhelming or hard or upsetting, and I'd just be like, ugh, I'm not doing this. I don't know. I guess I would just say find out what you like explore and figure out what fits you, figure out what makes you feel good, and just stick to that. And I think the last thing I would tell my 20-year-old self is to let go of people who no longer serve you. If people in your life are draining you, if people in your life are making you feel confused or attacking your character and making you seem like you're someone you're not, it's time to let go. Fantasizing about the past with them instead of what your present is like, it's also showing that it's time to let go. It's okay to be alone. It's okay to do things by yourself. It's okay to go out to eat by yourself. It's okay to go shopping. Like, you don't need someone with you. And you definitely don't need someone who brings you down and who makes you feel like a bad person. Because you are so beautiful and you're so worth it. And you're so funny and sweet. And you just want to have a good time. Like, genuinely, at that age, even at the age I'm now, I just want to have a good time. I'm always open for a good time, and I'm someone who, I'm a very, like, share my wealth type of person. If I'm happy, I want someone to be happy with. If I find a new place to eat that's amazing, like, I want someone to share that with. I think that I get easily disappointed when my people don't also want to share that with me. I get upset when people don't have the same intentions or the same heart that I do. But I have now learned at the age that I'm at now that I just need to let people go, and it is what it is, and I'll be okay regardless. So yeah, those are a couple of things that I would tell my 20-year-old self, and I love my 20-year-old self. I think she was definitely someone who needed a mentor or needed someone to just look up to, and she definitely needs a hug. Could sit with her at lunch for an hour. I would tell her all these things, and I would just hug her so tight, and I would just kiss her and let her know that you are amazing, whether or not people see that about you, whether or not people feel that way about you too, whether people betray you, or that has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. You're still a very great person, and some things and some people and some times in your life, like, it isn't meant to last forever, and it just is what it is, but it has nothing to do with you. So yeah, thank you for coming to my little nostalgic TED Talk where I listen to old music and then I get in my feelings and then I just can't get it out, I guess. I hope you can take something from this video, and I hope you can appreciate that this is like literally my diary, and I just sometimes talk to myself in my head and I have to vocalize it. So that's why I made this video, because I just need to speak sometimes. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.